Picture a young mother in 2010. She's standing in the aisle of a grocery store, staring at the price of diapers. They're expensive. They're always expensive. She pulls out her phone, checks a website she's just heard of called diapers.com, and smiles. They're cheap, fast shipping, good service. It feels like a secret victory. Now, cut to a boardroom in Jersey City. The mood is not victorious. It is pure panic. The executives at Quidsi, the parent company of diapers.com, are watching their screens in disbelief. Every time they lower their price to stay competitive, a bot on the other side of the country instantly undercuts them. They drop the price again. The bot drops it lower. They are bleeding money. They check the competitor's site. It's Amazon. And Amazon isn't just lowering prices. They are selling diapers for less than the cost of the raw materials. They are losing money on every single box, millions of dollars a month, just to make sure Quidsi bleeds. This wasn't a competition. This was an extermination. In the end, Quidsi surrendered. They sold their company to Amazon for $545 million. It sounds like a payout, but it was a defeat. A few years later, Amazon shut diapers.com down completely. The competition was gone. And what happened to the prices of diapers on Amazon after that? You can probably guess. This is the story of the predatory pricing trap. It is the single most effective weapon Amazon used to build its empire. And it is the reason why the idea of free market competition in the age of big tech is mostly a myth. Most people think Amazon won because they were smarter, faster, and just better at business. And sure, they are brilliant. But the mechanism that truly destroyed their rivals wasn't innovation. It was a willingness to lose money on a scale that no one else could survive. To understand how this works, we have to look at the difference between competitive pricing and predatory pricing. Competitive pricing is when I sell a widget for $10 because I found a way to make it for $9. I win. You get a cheap widget. The market is healthy. Predatory pricing is different. It's when I sell that widget for $5, even though it cost me $10 to make. I lose $5 every time. Why would I do that? Because I have $1 billion in the bank, and my competitor only has $1 million. I can afford to lose money for 2 years. They can only afford to lose money for 2 months. Once they go bankrupt, I'm the only seller left. Then, I raise the price to $20. This is exactly what Amazon did with Zappos. Zappos was the king of online shoe sales. They had a cult following, amazing customer service, and a great culture. Amazon wanted them. Zappos said no. So, Amazon set up a separate site, endless.com, solely to target Zappos. They offered overnight shipping and free returns, heavily subsidizing every sale. They lost an estimated $150 million trying to crush Zappos. Zappos held out as long as they could, but eventually, the economics broke them. They sold to Amazon in 2009. The moment the threat was neutralized, Amazon stopped aggressive discounting on endless.com and eventually shut it down. You might be wondering, isn't this illegal? Isn't this exactly what antitrust laws are supposed to prevent? The answer is complicated, and it brings us to a legal scholar named Lina. Before she became the head of the FTC, she wrote a famous paper called Amazon's Antitrust Paradox. She argued that American antitrust law had fallen into a trap of its own. For decades, courts decided that if prices were low, consumers were winning. If Amazon was lowering prices, how could that be bad? The law was obsessed with consumer welfare, defined strictly as low prices right now. It completely ignored the long-term damage to the market structure. It didn't account for a company that was happy to lose money for a decade just to become the only game in town. By the time the law wakes up to the monopoly, the rivals are already dead and buried. But the diapers.com and Zappos stories are actually the old way Amazon destroyed rivals. The modern version is far more insidious, and it's happening right now to the millions of small businesses that actually sell on Amazon. Imagine you are a small business owner. You invent a new type of, let's say, laptop stand. It's ergonomic, sleek, and affordable. You list it on Amazon. You pay Amazon a commission on every sale. You pay Amazon to store it in their warehouse. You pay Amazon to advertise it. You are a model partner. Your sales skyrocket. You are making money, and Amazon is making money from your fees. Everyone is happy, right? Wrong. Because Amazon isn't just the referee. They are also a player on the field. Amazon has access to data that no one else has. They know exactly how many laptop stands you sold. They know exactly what keywords people use to find them. They know your profit margins. They know your return rates. When they see your product becoming a hit, the Gazelle project mindset kicks in. This was an actual internal Amazon strategy named by Jeff Bezos, who said Amazon should approach small publishers the way a cheetah would pursue a sickly gazelle. So, Amazon's private label team looks at your data. They go to a manufacturer, maybe even the same one you use, and order a nearly identical laptop stand. But because they are Amazon, they order 1 million units and get a better price. They brand it Amazon Basics. Now, you are in a nightmare. You search for your laptop stand, and the first result is the Amazon Basics version. It's 30% cheaper. It has the Amazon's Choice badge. It has thousands of reviews almost overnight. Your sales crash. You try to lower your price, but you can't go lower than Amazon. They own the platform. They own the customer. They own the data. You essentially did the market research for them, at your own risk. And once you proved the product worked, they took it. This is the platform privilege. It creates a kill zone around innovation. Why would an investor give money to a startup to build a better battery, or a better diaper, or a better speaker, if they know that the moment it gets popular, Amazon can just clone it and underprice it? The result is a market that looks diverse. You see thousands of brands on Amazon, but the infrastructure, the logistics, and the profits all funnel back to one place. And let's talk about the trap part of the title. What happens when the rivals are gone? What happens when the predatory phase is over? We are starting to see it now. Have you noticed that Amazon isn't as cheap as it used to be? Third-party sellers are being squeezed by higher and higher fees. To sell on Amazon today, a business might have to pay 30, 40, sometimes 50% of their revenue back to Amazon in fees and advertising costs. Who pays for that? You do. The seller has to raise their prices to cover the Amazon tax. So, the price of goods goes up. Furthermore, the quality often goes down. When you destroy the specialists, the Quidsis, the Zappos, the independent gear shops, you lose the companies that care deeply about that specific product. You replace them with a generic algorithm designed to maximize volume. You get a marketplace flooded with cheap knockoffs, fake reviews, and a customer service department that is just a maze of chatbots. The tragedy of the predatory pricing trap is that it looks like a gift in the beginning. It feels like abundance. It feels like the future. Who could argue with cheaper diapers? Who could argue with free shipping? But it's a loan shark tactic. The low prices were a loan taken out against the future health of the market. And now, the bill is coming due. This isn't just about one company. It's about how we define capitalism. If the winner is simply the company with the deepest pockets, the one willing to bleed the most cash to starve everyone else, then we don't have a meritocracy. We have a financial war of attrition. We are entering a new era where regulators are finally trying to catch up. The FTC is suing. The European Union is investigating. They are trying to argue that you can't just look at the price tag today. You have to look at the power dynamic tomorrow. But dismantling an empire that controls the rails of commerce is incredibly difficult. So, the next time you see a price on Amazon that looks too good to be true, or you see an Amazon Basics product that looks suspiciously like the bestseller it sits next to, remember the empty boardrooms of diapers.com. Remember the panic. Remember that the price you are paying isn't just for the product. It's the price of a monopoly consolidating its grip. The trap has already sprung. The question now is, can we ever climb out of it?